America's pastime is back in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Judy Walden Scarefile Field at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta. And Austin, just opening night back in Hyannis for the Harbor Hawks facing the Cotuit Ketteleers. How are we feeling tonight?
It's good, Lincoln. Good to be back here in Hyannis for the home opener tonight. And after last night's tough loss, a 3-0 game, a well-played game in Bourne, you want to start off on the right foot at home and try to pick up a win against your rival tonight in Hyannis.
Yeah, definitely. Two talented teams coming here. Both teams from Barnstable, game one of the Patriot Cup here in 2021. One of 6 games between the Kettleers and the Harbor Hawks. Getting into the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Austin, how's it looking?
Well, we have Mariano Ricciardi batting leadoff once again. He'll be at second base tonight. In the 2-hole is Kyle Ball, the shortstop for Hyannis. Batting third is Mitchell Hardigan. He's back in left field again. And then Marcos Pujols in the lineup once more, but he's DHing tonight in the cleanup spot. Zane Harris, the first baseman, he'll be in the 5-hole. Luke Mann back in the lineup again. He's at the third base position, batting 6th. Dylan Post will be doing the catching, batting 7th. Dominic Johnson gets the start for the second consecutive night. He'll be playing center field and batting 8th. Caden Rose back in right field again, batting 9th. And Cade Halimanu, the starting pitcher tonight for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Lots of talent here on this Hyannis squad. And then coming in for the Cotuit Ketteleers, we have Blake Klassen batting in the leadoff spot, playing first base. Cole Cummings will be in the 2-hole, followed by Dylan Beavers, the right fielder. R.J. Schreck, the designated hitter, in the 4-hole, followed by Brooks Baldwin, the left fielder. Ben Rice, the catcher, followed by John Rhodes in the 7-hole, playing in center field. Eric Brown, the second baseman, batting 8th, and Ryan Ritter in the 9-hole for tonight's game, playing at shortstop. And we're just about ready to get underway here. The coaches getting their little plate meeting underway. And before we start, actually, we got Taylor Farmer, who's able to talk to us just a little bit before the game starts. Taylor, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Prior to the start of last night's game, I called up with head coach Gary Calhoun, who told me that he had a message for the team this summer to just have fun, play hard, and the wins will follow. Now, obviously, last night, it was a tough break for Hyannis in the bottom of that 8th inning where Bourne scored 3 runs, but we'll see if they can turn that around here tonight for the home opener.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Taylor. And a little pitching matchup coming up between these two teams as we are just about to get ready to get started. As Austin mentioned earlier, Cade Halimanu for the Harbor Hawks will be starting on the mound. Halimanu from the University of Hawaii, originally from Pear City, Oahu in Hawaii, one of the islands there. And he's coming in from the University of Hawaii in 70 innings pitched with 57 strikeouts posted. And of those 57 strikeouts, he added just 20 walks in that time. Austin, what are you feeling about his chances here tonight?
I think he's going to have an effective start. Now, we saw last night there Halverson only went 3 innings, but that seems to be the plan early on for the Harbor Hawks pitchers. Let him go about 3 or 4, depending on pitch count. We'll kind of see where he's at throughout the game. But for Halimanu, he's not necessarily a strikeout pitcher. He had 57, as you mentioned, in 70 innings, so not bad numbers. But he's a guy who knows how to be effective with his mix of pitches and get outs, let the ball be put in play and trust his defense behind him. He has been clocked at 96 miles an hour in a scouting day at the University of Hawaii, and in a couple games they clocked him around 96 with his fastball. So he's got some electric stuff, and we'll see if he utilizes that fastball early on, which I expect him to, against this Kettleer lineup full of lefties.
Yeah, Cade definitely don't want to get pitchers going too hard, too long, definitely this early in the season. Halimanu actually does have some experience going the distance. He's thrown a couple of complete games this season for Hawaii, and his actual average outing lasts about 7 innings. And so he's seen some distance this season, but as of now, this early in the season, definitely don't want to start him too long and get those other pitchers some experience here. And the coaches have concluded their plate meeting. We're just about ready to start underway in a few minutes. We're just going to take a quick break real quick, but we'll be right back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Back here at Judy Walden Scarafile Field at McKeon Park, just awaiting first pitch here. And as we mentioned earlier, Cade Halamanu on the mound for the Harbor Hawks here to start us off. And up first for the Ketteleers is going to be Blake Klassen wearing number 41. Klassen playing at first base for the Ketteleers here tonight. And he's digging in. We're just about ready to get underway. Pitch coming in. And that misses just a little bit outside for ball one.
I expect to see a lot of those fastballs early on here from Halamano, as mentioned in the pregame show. Does have a lot of left-handed hitters in this Ketteleers lineup, so should attack early with the hard stuff.
Yeah, one thing we saw is this one is a long drive towards the fence, and forget about it. A leadoff home run for Blake Klassen.
That is home run number 1 on the season.
And the Ketteleers take a very early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Well, he got a belt-high fastball middle in, and he did not miss it. I mean, Klassen just turned on that one, sent it way over the iHealth Services sign in right field, and that is how Cotuit's going to start this game.
Yeah, just off the sound of the bat, you could tell that was going out. And Rose, actually out in right field, didn't even move from his spot as this one's roped into right field for a base hit. And Rose is going to pick that one up and throw that one in, and that was Cole Cummings on a single right after that leadoff home run from Blake Klassen. And the Ketteleers have started off super quickly here in the top of the first, and Dylan Beavers now digs in. Another left-handed hitter for the Ketteleers. The top 3 hitters, all from the left side. And one thing we saw from the Harbor Hawks last night, a lot of lefties for both teams here tonight. First pitch, bunt shown, and that ball gets away from post. And that's going to allow Cummings to get to second base. Now the runner on second. 1-0 the count with nobody out.
I think showing bunt there kind of distracted Post a bit as that fastball, he was set up outside, but he had to come across his body to try to catch it in the bat. I think also restricted his view as it hit off his glove and went to the backstop. 1-0 count. He's behind again, Lincoln. We've seen fastball so far, only 4 pitches into the ball game, but he's going to have to keep using that fastball. That's his power pitch. You know, he's talked about how he's clocked in at 96 at one point, and this guy has a lot of speed on the fastball, this Halamanu, and it seems like him and Post are crossed up to start here.
Yeah, we've seen speed from Halamanu so far, and the Ketteleers have had no trouble catching up to that fastball, as we've seen 2 great hits from the top 2 hitters. Now Beavers waiting for Post. It looks like pitcher and catcher are ready to go.
Yeah, Beavers has some size to him as well. 6'4", 205 pounds from the left side of the plate. A lot of power in that swing. And another left-handed hitter on deck.
Beavers in from UC Berkeley as this one hit over towards short. Diving play by Ball. Throw to first is not in time. And that's going to bring runners to first and second now. Beavers beats out the throw for an infield single.
Heck of an effort over there at short by Kyle Ball, but you know, that just hit in the hole between short and third. And a tough play that you're going to have to try to make, but you know, it was close, but nothing really he could have done differently on that one.
Cade Halamanu, only 4 pitches into this game, has already given up 3 hits, as this one fouled back for strike 1.
Going to have to get ahead on these hitters now because they've seen the fastball. They've been able to time it up. Can't afford to fall behind in the count. An important first strike in this at-bat.
We have yet to see a breaking ball from Halamanu as he comes set, ready with this 0-1 pitch. Foul tipped, caught by Post, and that brings strike 2. 0-2 the count. RJ Schreck at the plate, the designated hitter for the Ketteleers.
The Duke outfielder.
Originally from Durham, North Carolina. Halamanu, quick look at second with the 0-2, and that's fouled. Off the body of Schreck, will stay at 0-2.
Looked like a changeup on the outer half of the plate there. Trying to get him reaching for it, and he did get Schreck reaching, but he was able just to fight it off. We talked about it last night. You know, fighting off the bad pitches and waiting for the one that you can drive, and we'll see what Schreck does. It's still behind 0-2 in the count. Good place here for Halamanu.
That changeup came in at 81 miles an hour as he brings the fastball And Shrek goes down swinging for out number 1. And just a beautiful strikeout there. Nice little fastball just underneath the bat of Shrek. And one away, that is. Runners on first and second now. That's Cummings over at second base. Dylan Beavers on first. Halamanu kicks, comes home, a breaking ball. Baldwin can't connect. Count goes to 0-1 with one away.
That's a terrific pitch. He had started the first 4 hitters all with fastballs. He comes here to the number 5 hitter, Baldwin, with an off-speed pitch and gets him reaching. You can tell they're trying to jump on the fastball. Nice mix and pitches there.
Baldwin in from NC Wilmington, North Carolina. Wilmington, originally from Wilmington, North Carolina. Oh, 0-2 now the count after he gets him swinging once again. The 0-2 gets past the glove of Post. No throw down to third as Post looked to throw but couldn't get anything down. Brings the count to 1-2 now with one away. Runners now on second and third with Cummings over at third, Beavers at second.
Looked like maybe a missed spot there as Post had to bring his glove up to the top of the zone while he got by him to the backstop. Second time a wild pitch in the inning here.
1-2 in the dirt, that breaking ball, and it's 79 miles an hour. Evens the count at 2-2.
A terrific block there by Post. That's exactly what you have to do. Slide in front of it, drop down, and able to square that one up. That's incredibly important with runners on second and third.
Yeah, already down 1 run with runners in scoring position. Definitely don't want to have a ball get past and score, get them to score more runs here very early in the game. That is strikeout number 2. Baldwin goes down for the second strikeout of the inning and second of the game for Halamanu. And with 2 away, that brings Ben Rice, the catcher.
This guy has a ton of power. He was the Futures League MVP last year in the FCBL. 11 homers there, Lincoln. And I got to watch him when I was working in the Futures League, and this was their guy in the home run derbies when they had that after the extra innings, and he would hit balls up to the light towers. I mean, he can hit the ball a mile.
Yeah, when the Kettleers were taking batting practice here just a couple hours ago, Rice was definitely a person to watch as he was roping ball after ball over the fence. Had one that hit over the scoreboard, and another, actually one that hit off the scoreboard as well, and then another one that hit off the Eye Health Services sign out towards the right field pole. That 1-1 pitch misses just a bit low, brings the count now to 2-1.
We do apologize, fans, as the video is down for a moment, but we're working on restoring that. We should have it back up in just a moment. Again, our apologies.
The 2-1 hit towards third, a diving play by Harris, and he'll toss that one over to Halamanu for out number 3. That ends the top half of the first inning, but not before the Kettleers take an early 1-0 lead after a home run from Blake Klassen. The Harbor Hawks getting their first chance at the plate right after this. You're watching the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Bottom of the first coming up. The Harbor Hawks getting their first chance at the plate here from Judy Walden, Scarifile Field. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta, ready for this first team plate appearance for the Harbor Hawks here. As Mariano Ricciardi set to start us off, he'll be followed by Kyle Ball and Mitchell Hardigan. Ricciardi up first, second baseman. He went 1 for 4 in last night's game against the Bourne Braves. Again, the Harbor Hawks taking a 3-0 loss after a late 8th inning run from the Braves, as this one lifted into center field, and that's an easy grab there for Rhodes for out number 1. That was John Rhodes making the grab out there for the Ketteleers.
I like swinging on the first pitch there. It's more aggressive than we saw yesterday. Ricciardi did go down on strikes twice in yesterday's ball game because he got behind in the count, so if he's trying to come out swinging early on, we'll see how the game plan is the rest of this inning. Kyle Ball now due up.
Yeah, something that you see from coaches a lot, especially in like Little League and high school, is that they want a lot of their batters to watch the first pitch just to get a feel for the pitcher. I've never really understood that concept because usually the pitcher wants to get ahead in the count, so you'll see a really good pitch usually on that first pitch of the game.
Yeah, I think some guys at the MLB level try to avoid a first pitch pop-up or rolling over on the first pitch, and they want to work the count, but guys like Joe Mauer, I know Buster Posey, they never swing on the first pitch. I remember I watched a video on Joe Mauer's entire career. There was like 0 times where he swung on the first pitch. And certain guys, it's just they don't want to. I mean, they like to work the count. They feel better when they're ahead 2-1, even if it was, rather than jumping on the first pitch.
3-0 now the count, 1 away. Kyle Ball in the right-handed box as that one misses up high, a 4-pitch walk. And Ball is the first base runner for the Harbor Hawks in tonight's game.
Yeah, now you see a 4-pitch walk on the second batter of the game. So if you're Mitchell Hardigan coming up, you're going to be patient. I don't expect him to swing at the first pitch now because you just saw, only 5 pitches in. The first one popped up and then 4 straight balls. So he might be taking all the way on the first one.
Yeah, Will Jacobson on the mound for the Ketteleers hasn't registered a strike so far in tonight's game, as that one misses inside. Getting Rice some work in behind the plate. That's Ben Rice.
In addition to his power at the plate, Rice is also a solid defensive catcher, too, at Dartmouth.
The 1-0 pitch, and that's the called strike that we've been looking for from Jacobson. Brings the count now to 1-1.
Good fastball, too, right on the inner half of the plate. Not a pitch that Hardigan can do much with.
Will Jacobson on the mound from Harvard University, the Ivy League. Very fresh arm for the Ketteleers, as Harvard actually had their season canceled. The Ivy League decided not to play their 20 and 21 seasons. And so this is Jacobson's first outing of the year, actually. That 1-1 misses up high. Brings the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 away.
Good count here for a fastball. You just saw an off-speed pitch on the last one. See if Hardigan can drive something.
Hefty swing there from Hardigan, but he can't connect. Count even once again at 2-2. That pitch coming in at 92 miles an hour from Jacobson. Good velocity there from the junior. Jacobson at 6'1", 205 pounds. 2-2. Hit towards second. That's going to be picked up by Rhodes. Toss to second for 1. Over to first is in time. Good double play there from John Rhodes to end the first inning. The Harbor Hawks go down. No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left stranded. We head to the second. Ketteleers leading 1-0 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. back for inning number 2 as that first pitch from Halamanu is in for strike 1. John Rhodes, who we saw I actually have a mistake on my fielder sheet real quick. I'll get that fixed as the count goes to 0-2. Rhodes in center field. As I mentioned that he had that double play. This one hit over towards second, picked up by Ricciardi. The throw to first on the run is not in time. Nice dig there from Harris, but the play could not be made as Rhodes beats out the throw. And the Ketteleers start off with a hit.
That's a tough play there, Lincoln. I mean, he has to come to his right, running in, trying to make the throw on the run because Rhodes runs well, does the center fielder. And Ricciardi really tried his best to get that out of his glove, just had trouble getting it out there. I'm sure that would be ruled as a hit.
And again, I do apologize for that mistake that I had. Eric Brown, actually the second baseman for the Ketteleers. He was responsible for that 4-6-3 double play back in the bottom of the first. John Rhodes, as I said, is in center field. 1-0 now the count to Eric Brown. Brown went 1 for 4 in their game last night. Halamanu comes home. That ball misses a little bit low for ball 2.
An interesting batting stance here with Brown at the dish. He has the hands high, kind of reminiscent of a Kevin Youkilis almost. Youkilis' bat was facing the pitcher, but Brown has his hands in that similar spot.
Yeah, I don't think there will be a batting stance quite like Youkilis ever again. That was truly one of a kind.
It was. There's guys like Mike Aviles who used to play on the Red Sox. He would kind of twist the bat around too. Whatever that makes the hitter comfortable. Sometimes guys like that have trouble getting the bat around on a fastball, but if that's something you grew up swinging, you know, you can get used to it in time with the fastball just fine.
Halamanu with the 2-1. That off speed at 77, missing just a bit inside. Brings the count now to 3-1. And this 3-1 pitch, that's skied towards left field. And that's going to be Hardigan ranging back on the warning track, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Meanwhile, Rhodes retreats back to first, and Brown goes down with that F7.
Just got under it just a bit. He hit it pretty well. The wind, not really too much of a factor tonight, but the ball is carrying pretty well, as we saw in batting practice as well. Not a bad out number 1 there for Halamanu.
Yeah, definitely not. And being able to keep that runner at first now opens up the chance for a inning-ending double play, as that bunt shown is pulled back by Ritter, and the throwdown from post is not in time. Rhodes back in safely. Ryan Ritter, the 9-hole hitter for the Ketteleers.
Ritter is actually the oldest of 7 children.
7?
He's the oldest.
Wow.
So I'm sure his siblings will be down to watch their older brother play.
I'm actually familiar with large families. My cousins actually have 7 kids.
Wow.
It's quite a lot, quite a lot. 1-1 the count. Halamanu comes home. Got him with the off-speed, 79. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
You see him starting to mix his pitches much more here in the second inning. We saw the first few batters. It was a home run, 2 singles. Then he started to really mix in that off-speed. That's where he's been his most effective.
That off-speed is hit back towards second. Ricciardi had to retreat. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. Meanwhile, Rhodes will extend over to second. A hit and run there, successful for the Ketteleers. Ball almost got past Ricciardi as he had to retreat back from grabbing the run down in order to make that play.
Well, fans, we're going to take a moment to remember Paul Gallup, the former commissioner of the Cape Cod Baseball League, who passed away this offseason. He was a dedicated volunteer for decades who was, again, the former commissioner. We want to say thank you to Paul for the years of service, and our condolences go out to the Gallup family. He will be deeply missed.
Truly very sad news to hear about that, yeah.
I know he's recognized on a Nesson broadcast during a Red Sox game as well for his service. He will definitely be missed down here in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Alamanu with a quick look at second. Pitch comes home with the 1-0. That misses for ball 2. Blake Klassen back at the plate. The lone run for the Ketteleers so far, as took the second pitch of the game deep into right field for a home run. A solo shot to start us off. Fastball at 91 miles an hour, about 10 to 12 mile an hour differences in those off-speed pitches along with the fastball.
That's key there, is you can't throw everything the same speed, so having a little bit of a difference in your pitches is also important, not only the movement but the speed, throw those hitters off balance.
And one person that comes to mind when I think about that is the all-time great Sandy Koufax, who actually had multiple kinds of fastballs that he would put different spins on, throw at different speeds, which definitely helped make him one of the greatest.
You had closers like Eric Gagne, who would throw a 68-mile-an-hour curveball and a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, wow.
Tough to hit.
And that 2-2 pitch on the outside gets him swinging. Klassen goes down with a strikeout. That's strikeout number 3 for Cade Halamanu as we head to the bottom of the second. Ketteleers still up 1-0 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Marcos Pujols get set to start us off here in the bottom of the second inning. He'll be starting us off, followed by Zane Harris and Luke Mann. That's 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Harbor Hawks. Marcos Pujols from University of Dayton, stepping in after going 0 for 4 in last night's game. And that 0 for 4 outing included a strikeout, a ground out, 3 strikeouts actually, and a ground out, 2 of those coming on a drop third strike as he lofts this one deep into right center field. And that is going to be brought in by Cummings for out number 1.
He hit that ball a mile high in the air. A little bit tough to track tonight with the gray, cloudy skies in the area. The lights are already on a little earlier than they normally would be.
Yeah, just before the game started tonight, I actually was worried a little bit because I saw a little bit of fog out in the trees before tonight's game started, actually. So thankfully that's all gone, and still a cloudy day, but thankfully no rain. Knock on wood there. Just want to...
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
Prefer to get a whole 9 innings in.
As soon as I mentioned that, I regretted it. I was like, oh no, I just jinxed us again.
Mother Nature can be very unforgiving.
Oh, yes, she can. 1-0, that drops down low for ball 2. Zane Harris now at the plate for the Harbor Hawks. He went 0 for 4 in last night's game as well. Had a strikeout, 2 groundouts, and a lineout in his outing last night.
Was the designated hitter in that game, now getting the start at first base, trying to keep those legs fresh in the field as well.
First base last night was actually Marcos Pujols, and so seeing some players moved around, see who fits best in the best position. 2-1 now the count. The pitch from Jacobson is up high. It gets off the glove of Rice.
Was attempting to get him fishing on a curveball there, but it just slipped out of the hand too soon. Ended up being at the eye level. 3-1 count. It's a hitter's count for Harris.
Harbor Hawks still looking for that first hit as Harris takes a big hack but can't connect. Brings the count full at 3-2.
A few different ways he can go here. You try to get him fishing again at something up in the zone, or you maybe go down and out with another changeup, which Jacobson's done a nice job of throwing to this point.
Harris coming to us from Wright State University, as that one misses outside and he reaches first on a walk. And the Harbor Hawks have had a couple of base runners so far. Kyle Ball reached on a walk back in the first. No hits, but a couple of base runners so far. And really, after a 3-0 loss last night, the Harbor Hawks still looking for that first run. And really the only way you can get those runs is by finding some way to get on base, and Harris has done just that.
That's what Luke Mann can do, the left-handed hitter. He pinch hit last night, got a couple at-bats, few innings in the field. He did have a single, I believe.
He did. Mann actually finished 1 for 2 with a single. And then he also had a ground out, came in to hit for Mason Greer, who's not in the starting lineup tonight. Greer went 2 for 2 in last night's game. Counted 0-1. Pitch comes in, and that misses down low.
Mixing in that changeup a lot here is Jacobson, but good discipline at the plate from the Harbor Hawks. Not too many guys have fished at it so far.